Hello friends, welcome back to another session of IBC 2016. By this time, you must have got a feel of the whole IBC as we have gone through the various sections of IBC 2016, right from section 7 from the application part till section 31 where the resolution plan is accepted. And the role of different people involved in this whole process of IBC, that is the IRP, the RP, the COC, the adjudicating authority, and their various functions at different point of time. And we have also covered a very important part in the previous session, friends, regarding the time of 180 days and extended it by 90 days more, that is 270 days, friends. So we have covered one aspect of IBC 2016. Let us move ahead. Before moving ahead to another aspect, that is liquidation under IBC. First, let us understand few very important provisions of this Act, which are very instrumental in achieving the objective of this code, friends. And these sections are again part of the whole process, where they are referred to at different point of time, either during the CRP process or during the liquidation process, friends. First, let me cover a very important element, that is section 12A, which gives us the facility of withdrawing of the cases filed under insolvency in case of any issue or situation arising out of it. So let us start with section 12. So 12A was introduced in 2018, where the objective was to give a facility to the applicant to withdraw the cases which have been initiated. And as we all know, the cases are initiated under section 7, 9, or 10. So after introduction of 12A, the possible 4 stages which come in where cases can be withdrawn are. So the first situation can be before the admission of the application under section 7, 9, or 10. That means before the adjudicating authority decides on the matter, probably before that also the case can be withdrawn, which is very logical. There may be a settlement between the applicant and the corporate debtor, and the amount might have been paid by the corporate debtor, then the case could be withdrawn. But then what is the process? The second, the case has been before the constitution of the committee of creditors can be withdrawn. Then the third would be the next step, that the COC has been formed. But yes, UI, that is expression of interest, has been issued for inviting the resolution applicant. And then fourth, the invitation of expression has been issued, then what will be the case? So section 12A, normally we'll cover from second, third, and fourth, because 12A, because section 12 will only come into picture once the case has been admitted. So let us cover all of these sections, very important, the steps, so that everybody is aware, yes, if there's a possibility of withdrawal, then how they can withdraw the cases. So let me take the first one. The case is admitted. Obviously, because the case has not been admitted, the various sections of IBC, right from section 13, 14, and so on, are not invoked. Then how will the case be withdrawn? So that is a rule under, there's a rule under 8 of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Application Adjudicating Authority rules, where the NCLT may permit the withdrawal of the application on a request by the applicant before its admission. And the may permit the withdrawal of the applications made under Rule 4.6 maybe, and when the applicant has made a request. Now, with respect to this particular Rule 80, I think there are various laws which have been, various case laws which have been by the authorities, including the NCLAT, and they have specifically mentioned that there are 2 provisions. The one is in Rule number 11, and which also gives the inherent power to the NCLT to take certain decisions. But yes, under this case, probably Rule number 11 will not be applicable, and Rule number 8 will supersede, and that is why with Rule number 8 will give you the facility of withdrawing the case before the application is admitted, right? And that has been reconfirmed in a case Lokhandwala Kataria Construction Private Limited versus Mrs. Finance and Investment Managers, and has been upheld by Supreme Court, friends. So this is a very important provision. By applying rule number 8, then the facility of the NCLT can use this power and then withdraw the case before the case is admitted. Then, what can happen when the case has been admitted? Right? So Section 12A of the Code provides that the adjudicating authority may allow the withdrawal of the application admitted under Section 7, 9, or 10 on an application made by the applicant with the approval of 90% voting share of the COC. Now remember, so here we are assuming the COC has been formed, and then the application will be moved by the, and then 90% of the voting has been in favor by the COC, then we can withdraw the case. So the procedure has been given in this particular section, and with certain regulation, that is 30A, which has been inserted in 2019, and following the steps which are mentioned in that particular regulation, that case can be withdrawn. But the major condition is the 90% approval of the COC. That is the important angle. If you see the regulation 30A, it gives the as follows. So it says that is the application for withdrawal under Section 12A may be made to the authority before the constitution of the committee and after the constitution. So before the constitution of committee, we have yet to discuss, but after the constitution of the committee, we know that there is it is subject to 90% approval. What will happen if it is done before the constitution of the committee? So friends, under this rule, I think there is a provision which has been clearly listed down. And before this particular regulation came in, probably the NCLT also decided by virtue of the inherent power of rule number 11 of NCLT rules. But after this regulation has come in, then the situation is that yes, the case can be withdrawn before the formation of COC, provided the application is made by the applicant and NCLT, along with their inherent power of rule number 11, they can allow the case to be withdrawn. Depending upon the facts and the circumstances, obviously, it cannot be a one way of approval that yes, because it has been made by the applicant, so the case will be approved. But giving due consideration to all the concerned parties, then considering the merit of the case could be withdrawn, friends. That is a possibility. So remember, rule number 30A, along with rule number 18, rule number 11, gives the facility of withdrawal of the case before formation of COC. And if it is after formation of COC, then we require a 90% approval of the same. Yes, friends, a very important provision which has been introduced. Again, this is under the Section 12A only, and not basically 12A, but yes, it is deemed that what will happen if the corporate debtor is MSME, then it has been said and decided in one of the cases that it is not necessary for the COC to follow all the procedure under CRP and apply for withdrawal of the case. And again, NCLT will decide on the merit of the case, right? So it is not a universal law which has been made, but depending upon each of the merit of the case, the NCLT can decide on the same. Yes, very important, friends. What will happen after the EOI has been issued? So again, friends, very important. Regulation 30A says that yes, it can be done. It can be done, but yes, as we all know now that after formation of COC, then 90% of the approval is required. So the 30A regulation has been segregated in two parts, but then go by the process. So before COC, after COC, before the EOI is issued, and after the expression of interest is issued, friends. So, so these are the 4 steps, and after COC, I think it is one common thing that we require a 90% approval from the COC, friends. And there are various case laws which has been heard, and the important thing is that yes, the application has to be moved by the applicant, then only the adjudicating authority will decide, and the application cannot be moved by the resolution applicant. And then once the 90% of the approval has been made, and then the A does not have any right to question it further, right? So cannot further look into the matter. So Section 12A, which was introduced later, it was not the initial part of the Act, and this is a very important provision, friends, where we can understand that yes, the cases can be withdrawn under different stages, and we need to know the process, how the cases. And I think it's a very relevant section. Looking to the current context also, there might be a situation where the corporate debtor might be interested in settling the amount, outstanding debt or default. Then probably by invoking this section 12A, there is a possibility, yes, the sections can be withdrawn, friends. So that is section 12A, a very important, friends. Remember this, and it will help you in building a career and shaping up your career, because this gives an opportunity for us as in terms of professional opportunity and in terms of also negotiation. Right? So this is one section which we have covered. Now in the next part we'll cover some important sections which are relevant for the conduction of the CRP process. Thank you.